13th chapter. So, Pranay, so existential truth, and Jiva Tattva. So, Rajanath is visiting or taking shelter of the Vaishnavas. Raghunath Das, Babaji Maharaj, different from Raghunath Das Goswami, was disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami. And other great Vaishnavas are there. He's inquiring about the absolute truth. And so Darshamula Tattva is explained, which ultimately these are the 10 essential truths explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioned in the Jaiva Dharma in this chapter, and separately he has also written a book, a small book, just Darshamula Tattva. The next day, Rajanath reached Shiva Sangat earlier than on previous days. The Vaishnavas from Godrum had also come before evening to take darshan of Sandhyartik. And Sri Prendas, Paramahamsa Babaji, Vaishnav Das, Advaita Das and other Vaishnavas were already seated in the Artik Mandap. When Rajanath saw the bhavs of the Vaishnavas from Godrum, he was struck with wonder and thought, I would perfect my life by having that association as soon as possible. When those Vaishnavas saw his humble and devotional disposition, all of them bestowed their blessings on Rajanath. When Artik was over, Rajanath and the elderly Babaji began to walk southward together in the direction of Godrum. Raghunath Das Babaji saw tears continuously falling from Rajanath's eyes, and feeling very affectionate towards him, asked lovingly, Baba, why are you weeping? All this we already read. So then he explained, so Rajanath mentioned that I remember your sweet instructions, and my heart becomes restless, and the entire world seems to be devoid of all substance. So, requesting Babaji Maharaj to speak more about Tattva. So then Babaji Maharaj is explaining the 5th verse in regards to the Jivas. Just as many tiny sparks burst out from a blazing fire, so the innumerable Jivas are like his atomic spiritual particles in the rays of the spiritual sun, Sri Hari. Though these Jivas are not different from Sri Hari, they are also totally different from him. The eternal difference between the Jiva and Ishvara is that Ishvara is the Lord and Master of Maya Shakti, whereas the Jiva can fall under the control of Maya. Even in this liberated stage, Jiva is constitutional in nature. So Babaji Maharaj is explaining in more detail in this regard. So the Jiva is called Tatashtas Shakti. Just like between the ocean and the land, the shore is there, which is known as Tatta in Sanskrit or even in Hindi. So it is land, but sometimes the ocean is covering. So that part of land. So Brajanath is asking further, what is the Tatashta Svabhav? Marginal nature, Bhavaji. It is the nature that enables one to be situated between both worlds and to see both sides. Tatashta Svabhav is the ability to come under the control of either of the Shaktis. Sometimes the shore is submerged in the river because of erosion, and then again it becomes one with the land because the river changes its course. In the same way, if the jiva looks in the direction of Krishna, that is towards the spiritual world, is influenced by Krishna Shakti. He then enters the spiritual world and serves Bhagavan in his pure conscious spiritual form. However, if he looks towards Maya, becomes opposed to Krishna and is inculcated by Maya. This dual faceted nature is called the Tatashta Svabhav, marginal nature. So basically, as in the introduction verse of the Darshamula, it is explained, two jivas are there. The Nitya Siddha, eternally perfect, and the Nitya Bada, since time memorial conditioned. So the Nitya Siddhas are the eternal associates like Lalita Vishaka, the Manjari is also Ruparati Manjari, and then also, of course, the friends, Maria Shoda. So they are eternal associates that they will never fall into Maya, the external energy. But of course they are under Yoga Maya and they do not know that Krishna is actually the Supreme Lord. But they are always engaged in this seva, in the particular relationship as friends, as parental affection, although Krishna is the source of everything, but by his will, so he has a father and mother. Although he is the origin of the father and mother also. He is the origin of everything, but the purpose for his own transcendental enjoyment, so they are there since time immemorial, as father and mother. So they can relish this relationship, and specifically, or more so that he can relish this relationship of being the son of two wonderful, his own associates. So in the material world, so the son is coming from the parents, always. But in the spiritual world, Krishna is actually the origin of his own father and mother also. He's the origin of everything. So, but for the purpose of the pastime, they think that Krishna is my child. And in one sense it is true, he's their child, but he's the origin of everything. So that is his wonderful pastime, inconceivable. God, Bhagavan, Adbhut, wonderful, Achintya, inconceivable. And so we have to accept that fact and take it as it is and not break our head at how this is possible. And so then, of course, Jai and Vijay are there in Vaikuntha, and so when the four Kumaras one time wanted to see Vishnu, they were stopped at the gate. It is also ultimately inspired by the Lord himself. And he asked, hey, what do you want? What are you doing here? They were surprised how they can come there. He said, why do you want to see Vishnu, the Supreme Lord? No, you cannot see. Yeah. They felt they were qualified and they became angry. Vishnu appeared and he said to the Kumaras, oh, here I am. So you can see me here. And so actually they cursed the four Kumaras, Jaiva, you're not qualified to be here. You should go to the material world. Vishnu then said, right? Also telling Jai and Vijay that so they are great personalities and you just wanted to see me. So, but everything is actually inspired by my internal potency. And so you will have to come to this material world, but don't worry, only for a little while. So you can choose, either you come as demons for 3 lifetimes or you come as devotees for 7 lifetimes. And I said, well, we don't want to be in this material world for too long, let us become demons. And because he wanted to have a good fight also, Vishnu, because who is qualified to fight with Vishnu except his own devotees. So then they became demons. And they were really. So Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, and then Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and then Shishupal and Dantavakra. So these were these 2 gatekeepers. They became demons for 3 lifetimes. And then some say that actually then they became Jagai and Madai also. So this just to experience one time in the life of a devotee. So and at the same time it's mentioned that so they became Jagavananda and Madhavananda, and actually they so they are there in Gaur Lila. And so apparently it's Krishna in some form. So, but generally the eternal associates, they will not fall. For the purpose of the pastime again, sometimes some bewilderment may be there in this world. Even Arjuna, he became bewildered and he didn't want to fight. So, but that is also for the purpose of the pastime, so that Bhagavad Gita could be spoken. So, Krishna's pastimes are very wonderful, and we should try to appreciate all the pastimes of the Lord. I mean, we cannot completely understand Krishna and his pastimes, but we can appreciate. So, but generally, so the Niktabada, they are since time immemorial conditioned by the Lord's will. Some jivas are there since time immemorial, anadikal. Cannot trace out the beginning. So it is the inconceivable spiritual nature of Krishna is existing since time immemorial, and he will ever exist. So eternal life for the conditioned soul also is really difficult to understand, because we don't have the experience. We only experience something comes into being, stays for some time, and then it is destroyed. Anything in this world, our body, and chair, or even this house, anything. So something eternal is difficult to conceive unless one becomes advanced in spiritual life and is situated on the spiritual platform. Then he can perceive, he can understand the spiritual nature to some extent. It is more easy to understand. So these are the Niktabada, that's since time immemorial conditioned. So there's a spiritual conditioning, of course. As explained already, the eternal associates in Braj, they don't know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, it's also very thin. So that is under Yoga Maya. Nitya seed is on the yoga maya. He may not understand everything, because that is the difference. Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, he knows everything. The Jiva cannot know everything. And he's so sometimes conditioned, spiritually conditioned. Now there's another spiritual conditioning, that is the Nityabada, who are situated in the Brahma Jyoti, as explained here, just like the sun is there, the sun's rays, and there are thousands of particles of the sun's rays. Similarly, spiritual sky is there, Brahma Jyoti is Krishna's effulgence, and there are unlimited tiny sparks in the Brahma Jyoti there. There are eternal sons of Krishna, but they are conditioned since time immemorial. The eternal sons of Krishna, but at present they are not serving. But then, so the material world is manifested sometimes it's not manifested, and then it is manifested, when it is manifested, then they will fall here. And then they have a chance to realize their spiritual nature. And then it can become perfect and enter the pastimes of the Lord, and then there will be just like the eternal associates. They will be constantly engaged in devotional activities, and they will not fall down. So that is the wonderful spiritual creation, and also very wonderful material creation is there. And so Krishna is complete and perfect. So it is also, you may say, it is one of his pastimes. The spiritual world is perfect and complete, and everything is fine, but somehow he created, sometimes he's creating this material world. And the jivas who are there in the Brahma Jyoti, also his creation, so then they come here and have a chance to become perfect. Hare Krishna. Brajanath, is there any illusory material component in the jiva's original constitution? Is there an illusory material component in the jiva's original constitution? Originally, there's, in the jiva, even the Nityabada who are there in the spiritual sky, there's no maya there. There's no maya. And within the soul, there's no material, illusory material component there. So Babaji is saying, no, the jiva is created solely from the Chit Shakti, spiritual potency. He can be defeated or covered by maya because he is minor by nature and lacks spiritual power. But there is not even a scent of maya in the jiva's existence. There is not even a scent of maya in jiva's existence. But the jiva is infinitesimal, anuchit vastu, and the Lord is brihachit vastu, is chit vastu, spiritual thing. Vastu means thing or substance, spiritual substance. Also the jiva, but the Lord is brihat, is great, and the jiva is anu, is infinitesimal. Because it's infinitesimal, it can be overcome by maya when it's thrown into the material world, but not in the spiritual world. Yes.
Is the soul formless, without any formless, without any aroma, without anything? That's the first question. And second one, why are we, as a spiritual souls, why are we lacking spiritual power if we are from Krishna? I mean, it's a huge contradiction.
Right, yeah.
Like why we were thrown to this material?
Why
No,
we
we
are
like
thrown to
chose.
this
Jiva
world.
was thrown.
It's written we chose. I don't believe it.
No.
I don't believe it.
Because here you
No,
mentioned
actually, I
It's
mentioned
written
I'm just reading, and then I'm trying to explain.
What about form and aroma?
Form,
And then
yes.
we don't have it initially?
Yeah, you see, the thing is, so the jiva, all the jivas have a form. But the jiva who are conditioned since time immemorial, they are like in a seed-like form. The seed is there, so the form is within the seed. But it is not manifest, just like a mango seed. mango seed, if you put a mango seed in the ground, it will sprout and the mango tree will come. So the mango tree, so to say, it is there in the seed, but it is not manifested. So saying the jiva is there, it is in a seed-like form, but the form is already there. The form is there in the jiva, but it is not manifest.
And those who are not conditioned.
They have a form, but they are so.
Who are still in Brahma Jyoti.
In the Brahma Jyoti, they are all conditioned, spiritually conditioned. They are spiritually conditioned, not material. There is no scent of Maya there.
Doesn't make any sense. Why are we lacking spiritual power?
No, actually, the jiva, the person of Krishna, has immense power, but it is in seed-like form. Same. Like the two associates, they have power, and they are serving Krishna. And when they come to the material world, they are mostly empowered, and they are not touched by Maya, so that the jiva is powerful in nature, but when it is in seed-like form, then it is not manifested. It is dormant. Like when you're sleeping, even if you're a powerful woman. But when you're sleeping, you're just sleeping, that's all.
You don't know how to sleep.
You may be dreaming, there may be something. Only some people, they actually, well, they say something because they're dreaming, and then they say, even sometimes they woke up and they walk around dreaming.
That's dangerous.
That is dangerous, yeah. So, but still there, so. But, so when you're sleeping, but when you're waking up, then you can show your power.
But I'm trying to say, it seems like we have to go through so much of miseries, just what for? God, why are you doing it for us?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
This is not true statement. Like
What?
what we hear, the jiva is here just because we were envious with Krishna, or we wanted to enjoy this material world.
Yeah.
Because
No.
here it's mentioned, like at the time
There's
in
no
the
Maya.
beginning, there is no Maya.
There's no
Yeah,
Maya.
exactly.
No.
That's
No.
Because we all are Satchit Anand,
Right.
coming from Krishna.
Yeah.
But there is Krishna, there is no
But
Maya.
there's no Maya. In the spirit world, there's no Maya.
Mm.
But when the material world is manifested, then some jivas are thrown into this world.
Why? Again, why? I mean, we're always asking exactly the
It's
same
Krishna-
question.
It's Krishna's will.
Why?
Krishna's
Why
will.
God wants me to suffer, and all of us? I mean, you see what's going on in the world.
He doesn't want you to suffer.
So why material world is here in the first place? Why?
Just so that he wants to come here and he wants to.
Why need
No,
to
no,
seek
I'm
as why I am
Not
not?
because actually Krishna, he already has so many associates,
Why he's creating?
but so much enjoyment is already there, and he doesn't even need the associates to be satisfied. He's self-satisfied.
Yes.
But if he is creating, they already created since time immemorial the associates to increase his pleasure. But then Krishna has so unlimited pleasure, and therefore he likes unlimited variety, and therefore so many jivas are there, and just to increase the variety in Krishna's pastimes, the variety.
But we are not doing this. We're just suffering. We're
But
not
that
in-
is only temporary, only for a little while.
But why we are in this? What is purgatory? What is the name for this?
So it is temporary.
This
The material world is temporary.
stage
but-
before hell. What is purgatory? Before hell, there is a name. Hell.
Hell.
Before hell, there is a name for this. Heaven, then hell, and before hell, there is a name. Just like. It just doesn't make any sense, and I know no one can answer. So.
Krishna created the spirit world. It is there since time immemorial. And the material world is just a kind of special drama.
Why?
Well, just like, yeah, you don't like drama?
No.
Some people like it.
Much.
And
It's
people,
boring life without drama.
Oh, okay, I want a boring, harmonious life. Full of peace, please.
like there's, for example, there's what's called, I mean, entertainment is there, there's the Bollywood, Hollywood, and people, they like it. Although they have their life and already drama is there in their life, but they want some extra drama, some entertainment. And so, therefore, the material world is there, and Krishna is coming to this world, and there's some extra fun, some extra entertainment. This is all for his pleasure, ultimately. And
You know, now I mean, that's why people go to Mayavada, because God enjoys it. He's enjoying our suffering for real. Okay, so why to do anything? I go to Mayavada.
I feel so much compassion for the jivas who are in this world, and he's trying to help them. But then the problem is that the jivas, they like to be in this world, they like to suffer. They don't want to give it. Well, then you take shelter of Krishna.
I'm trying, but now I hear that he wants to create this world. He wants me to be here. Then why a contradiction? I can't hear you.
It's okay, I'm saying you drama yourself.
So the jiva is created solely from the chit shakti. He can be defeated with over my maya because he's minded by nature and lacks spiritual power. But there is not even a cent of maya in the jiva's existence, original. I have heard from my teacher that when a fraction of the conscious Brahma, the all-pervasive aspect of the absolute truth, discovered by Maya, becomes the jiva. He explained the sky to be always indivisible, but when a part of it is enclosed in a pot, it becomes a pot of sky. Similarly, the jiva is constitutionally Brahma, but when the Brahma is covered by Maya, the false ego being a jiva develops. Is this conception correct? Is it correct? What do you think? You don't know, okay? So Rajanath, the scholar, he didn't know. So he's asking, is this correct? Babaji, this doctrine is only Mayavad. How can Maya touch Brahma? The Mayavadis propose that Brahma has no potency. If potency is supposed to be non-existent, how can Maya, which is potency, possibly approach Brahma? Conversely, if we accept the transcendental potency, Parashakti of Brahma, how can Maya, which is an insignificant Shakti, defeat the Chit Shakti and create the Jiva from Brahma? Moreover, how can Maya be assertive when she has no independent potency and will? Brahma is indivisible, so how can such a Brahma be divided? The idea that Maya can act upon Brahma is not acceptable. Maya plays no role in the creation of the jivas. Admittedly, the jiva is only atomic, but even so, it is still superior as a tattva to Maya. So the Mayavad is there in Maya. Brajanath, once another teacher said that the jiva is nothing but a reflection of Brahma. The sun is reflected in water, and similarly Brahma becomes jiva when it is reflected in Maya. Is this conception correct, Babaji? Again, this is simply another example of Mayavad philosophy. Brahma has no limit, and a limitless entity can never be reflected. The idea of limiting Brahma is opposed to the conclusion of the Vedas, so this theory of reflection is to be completely rejected. Brajanath, a Digvijay sannyasi once told me that in reality there is no substance known as jiva. Only one thinks of himself as a jiva because of illusion, and when the illusion is removed, there is only one indivisible Brahma. Is this correct or not? Babaji, this is also Mayavad doctrine, which has no foundation at all. According to Shastra, Ekam Eva Dvitiyam, there is nothing apart from Brahma. If there is nothing except Brahma, where has the illusion come from, and who is supposed to be an illusion? that Brahma is covered by illusion, you are no longer describing Brahma but something with defects. And if you propose that illusion is a separate and independent element, you negate the non-dual nature Advaita Jnana of Brahma. If there is nothing except Brahma, where does the illusion come from? And we're supposed to be in illusion. If you say that Brahma is covered by illusion, you are no longer describing Brahma but something which with defects. And you propose that illusion is a separate and independent element, you negate the non-dual nature, Advaita Jnana of Brahma. So, it's not so easy to comprehend. So therefore we have to be the association of the devotees who are knowledgeable. So then we may get some understanding. And so also the scriptures are there, who are the holy scriptures, the Vedic literatures. They are the absolute truth and manifested for the conditioned souls to gain knowledge, but they should be understood under the guidance of the advanced devotees of the Lord. Otherwise one may be misguided. Even the Mayavadis, so they are reading the scriptures, but they have not learned from the devotees. So, of course, Shankaracharya is there, the original Acharya of Mayavad philosophy, who was empowered by the Lord himself to preach this philosophy, because before him the Buddhists were there. Also, the Buddhist philosophy that was also actually manifested by the Lord, because people at this time they were studying the scriptures but they did not properly understand, and in the name of, because there sometimes it is mentioned a sacrifice may be done, an animal sacrifice to give new life to the animal. So, but they were misusing that in order to kill animals just to satisfy their desire to eat meat. So for that purpose Buddha appeared and he gave this philosophy that we should be humble, we should be non-violent, and an impersonal explanation of the absolute truth. And the goal is to merge in the absolute truth. So, but not following the Vedic literatures, because they were misusing some aspect of the Vedic literatures for such clarification. But then Shankaracharya was there to introduce this Mayavad philosophy and using the scriptures so that people again would abide by the scriptures, follow the scriptures, but then he gave the impersonal aspect of the absolute truth, because already so many Buddhists were there, and so they were not ready to, the majority of people were not ready to accept the personal description of the absolute truth. So he gave him personal description of the absolute truth. So that is the origin of the Mayavad, and so he was empowered to preach this philosophy, and people were impressed and they followed. And even now they are there. And this is Sampradaya of Mayavadis, followers of Shankaracharya. But then many branches are there and they have different philosophies also. So they'll be bewildered by the external energy also. But as explained before, those who are non-envious, or those who are not criticizing the devotees and the Lord, they may attain perfection and enter the Brahma Jyoti. Like some of the Buddhists also, they can enter the Brahma Jyoti if they are non-envious, and if they are actually in the mode of goodness, because even now many Buddhists are eating meat, so which is not at all acceptable. And Buddha never ate meat, of course, he's the Supreme Lord, and there's also one kind of violence. So that is against the teachings of Buddha actually. So, and he also this quite prominent still the philosophy of impersonalism. So and it is not so easy to speak to this. Better to avoid the Mayavadis because it is bewildering. And so devotee who is not strong, he may also be bewildered. Therefore Mahaprabhu has told Mayavadi Bhashya Nasunila. So we should not hear the explanation of Mayavad. In regards to the Vedic literature, Shariraka Bhashya, the commentary on the Vedas, Vedanta Sutra. So he has given with impersonal understanding that should not be heard. Otherwise, so he has explained. Anyata sarvanashahai, otherwise the bhakti may be destroyed. So Brajanar, once an influential Brahmana Pandit arrived in Navadvip, and in a conference of scholars he established that only the Jiva exists. His theory was that this Jiva creates everything in his dreams. And it is because of this that he enjoys happiness and suffers distress. Then when the dream breaks, he sees that he is nothing but Brahma. To what extent is this idea correct? So this Brajanath was influenced by the Mayavadi philosophy. So he's presenting that, and Babaji Maharaj mercifully he refuted their arguments. This is again Mayavad. If, as they say, Brahma is undifferentiated, how can it be possible? How can he possibly produce the Jiva and his dreaming state? Mayavadis use examples such as the illusion of seeing mother of a pearl in an oyster shell as gold, and the illusion of taking a rope to be a snake. But their philosophy cannot provide a consistent basis for non-dual oneness, Advaita. All these arguments are traps of illusion. So that is their philosophy, Advaita. So there is no duality there. You see, in this material world, duality is there. And so they say the absolute truth actually is non-dual. There is no duality there. So actually this material world so is full of duality. And from one point of view you can say the absolute truth has no material duality, there is no material duality, but this spiritual duality is there. It has to be understood. So the Mayavadis, they don't accept, they say the absolute truth is non-dual. And so there's happiness there, but there's, they say everything is one. There's Brahmananda there. So the absolute truth is spiritual, it is Sat, and then there is also some kind of consciousness is there, Chit, but there's no form. And then Anand, there's some bliss is there, if you merge in that. Satchidanand, but it's Nirakar Brahma. There's no form, Akar. So that is incomplete. So here examples are given by the Mayavadis. So, taking a rope to be a snake. So that may happen. One may see a rope when it is dark, one may see, one may think it is a snake. But if one has a torchlight, then one can see. So actually it is not a snake, it is a rope, it is just illusion. Because even the acharyas sometimes they use this rope and the snake. And they say, the Guru is saying, this is a snake. Okay, snake is there, you see. And then the disciple says, yeah, yes, it's a snake. And then the Guru said, no, it is a rope. It is a rope. And then the disciple will say, yes, Guruji, it is a rope. No, it is a snake. Okay, yes, Guruji, it is a snake. So just to show that the disciple, he should have faith in the spiritual master, whatever he says. At the same time, you have to use one's intelligence also. And you should know that. And if you are intelligent, you can see, well, it is not a snake, it is a rope. The spiritual master is just testing me to see if I'm following his instructions, or if I have faith in his words. So we should have faith. What he's saying is the absolute truth. And sometimes he's testing, so we have to understand. And the snake is there, and the rope is there, and the snake is a snake, and the rope is a rope. So then you have to use intelligence, and you see. If the snake it is there, it is a snake. Even if the Guru is saying, well, it is a rope, they say, yes, Guruji, it is a rope. But then you know that it is. Of course, it is quite some extreme example, but sometimes it is given.
So the disciple should accept it, yes. He should not use his intelligence and he should say.
No, he should use his intelligence, but he should understand that maybe my spiritual master wants me to learn something. And he wants me to understand that I have to have faith in his words, and I should follow implicitly his instructions. I should do what he says, but then you have to use intelligence. And the snake is a snake and the rope is a rope. And so then you can think, okay, Guruji is saying it's a snake, okay, yes, Guruji is a snake. No, it's a rope, yes, Guruji, it is a rope. But then he goes away, and then after you have to use intelligence, so he's testing it. And you know, if it is a snake, you just go away. And you stay away from that. If it is a rope, you just put it to the side. So you have to use intelligence also. You should not blindly accept the spiritual master also what he's saying. So you should have faith, and you should try to follow what he says as much as possible, as much as you can understand. But it's not easy. And also, for example, you should not be over-intelligent. If the spiritual master is saying, I want a glass of water, the disciple may think, why I should just give water? What is water is okay, but let me get some milk, or some juice. Let me give him some nice orange juice. It's better than water. But no, he wants water, then it should be water. So,
One time I heard Guru's master, he was saying that when the spiritual master is saying something to you to do, without questioning him, you should do that.
yeah.
And after, if you have any doubt, you can ask him.
Yeah, that can be done also.
But first, when he's ordering, then you should just do it without asking questions.
Of course, sometimes, I mean, you have to see time, place, circumstances. Sometimes you may ask also, Gurudev, I don't understand how I can do this. So you have to see, but generally you do what he says, and then, but again, same thing, and sometimes, like for example, it is also mentioned if the Guru says to the disciple, you should get married, then you can say, Gurudev, I don't want to get married. That is also
This is something different.
Yeah.
This is something different.
Well, different, so that's why you have to see time, place, and circumstances. And therefore you must be knowledgeable in the scriptures also. so you may understand what to do, when to follow and when to ask. Yeah. So, but yeah, it is not so easy. And if you're humble, tolerant, and respectful, then everything is fine. So, so let me see. So Maya has nothing whatsoever to do with creating the Swarup or constitutional form of the Jivas. This has to be accepted. At the same time, I have also clearly understood that the Jiva is by nature subject to the influence of Maya. Now I want to know, did the Chit Shakti create the Jivas and give them the Tatastha Svabhav, marginal nature? No. Babaji, no, the Chit Shakti is the complete potency of Krishna, and its manifestation are all eternally perfect entities, Nitya Siddha. The Jiva coming from Tatastha is not Nitya Siddha, although when he performs sadhana, he can become sadhana Siddha and enjoy transcendent happiness like the Nitya Siddhas, eternally perfected beings. So, okay, let's see the. So, similarly, so Srimati Radhika's 4 types of Saktis are Nitya Siddha. And they are direct expansions, Kaya view of the Chit Shakti. Srimati Radhika herself. All the Jivas, on the other hand, have manifested from Sri Krishna's Jiva Shakti. The Chit Shakti is Sri Krishna's complete Shakti, whereas the Jiva Shakti is incomplete Shakti. So that is the Chit Shakti, the Nitya Siddha. So they are eternal associates, the expansions of Srimati Radharani, like the Gopis, the Manjaris. So the Chit Shakti is Sri Krishna's complete Shakti, whereas the Jiva Shakti is incomplete Shakti. All the complete tattvas are transformations of the complete potency, and the innumerable atomic conscious jivas are transformations of the incomplete Shakti. Sri Krishna, being established in each of his Shaktis, manifests his Swarup according to the nature of that Shakti. When he is situated in the Chit Swarup, he manifests his Swarup as Sri Krishna and also as Narayan, the Lord of Paravyoma. When he is situated in the Jiva Shakti, he manifests his Swarup as his Vilas Murti of Braj Baladev. And when he is established in the Maya Shakti, he manifests the 3 Vishnu forms. Karanadakshaya, Kshirodakshaya and Garvadakshaya. In his Krishna form in Braj, he manifests all the spiritual affairs to the superlative degree. In his Baladev Swarupa Sheshis Tattva, he manifests eternally liberated associates, Nitya Mukta Parshad Jivas, who render 8 types of services to Krishna's Shesha Tattva Swarup, the origin of Shesha Tattva. Again, as Sheshup Shankar Shani Paravyoma, he manifests 8 types of servants to render 8 kinds of services as eternally liberated associates of Sheshi Rup Narayan. But Mahavishnu is an avatar of Shankar Shan, situates himself in the Jiva Shakti, and in his Paramatma Swarup he manifests the Jivas with potential to be involved in the material world. The Jivas are susceptible to the influence of Maya, and unless they attain the shelter of the Hladini Shakti or the Chit Shakti by Bhagavan's mercy, the possibility of their being defeated by Maya remains. The countless conditioned Jivas who have been conquered by Maya are subordinated to the 3 modes of material nature. bearing all this in mind, the Siddhanta is that it is only the Jiva Shakti and not the Chit Shakti that manifests the Jiva. Is it clear? Not so easy. No.
What question?
Then the question, I think we have to read it again. Yes.
No, it was about something curious. I lost it.
So the Chik Shakti is a complete potency of Krishna. And its manifestations are all eternally perfected entities, Nitya Siddha. So the Nitya Siddha manifestation of the Chik Shakti. So there's a, so the Jiva coming from Tatashta is not Nitya Siddha. So they are Tatashta, so they are Nitya Bhada. Although when he performs sadhana, he can become sadhana siddha and enjoy transcendent happiness like the Nitya Siddha, eternally perfected beings. He can become sadhana siddha or kripa siddha. And then he can enjoy happiness just like the Nitya Siddha. That is just like the Nitya Siddha. Srimati Radhika's 4 types of Saktis are Nitya Siddha. And they are direct expansions, carry view of the Chit Shakti, Srimati Radhika herself. So the different Saktis are there. So of course, so those in Radharani's group, those opposing like Chandravali, and those who are friendly to Radharani, and those who are friendly towards Chandravali. So these are 4 categories of Saktis. Swapaksha in Radharani's group, and Vipaksha, Chandravali's group, and then Suripaksha, friendly like, who is it? Shama.
Shama.
Shama also. And then those who are neutral, Bhadra, Tarakapali, so they are neutral. And then of course those in Radharani's group, so there are 5 kinds of gopis also explained, Prampreshta, Lalita, Vishaka and so on, the same age, and those who are dear also to her, the little younger, Priya Sakis, and the Prana Sakis, Nitya Sakis, so they are also known as Manjaris, and then also the Sakis, ordinary Sakis. So they are all expansions of Srimati Radharani, so from the Chit Shakti. All the jivas on the other hand have manifested from Krishna's Jiva Shakti, so that refers to the Nitya Bhada. So they are from the Tatashta Shakti, Jiva Shakti. The Chit Shakti is Sri Krishna's complete Shakti, whereas the Jiva Shakti is his incomplete Shakti. So Chit Shakti is complete, and so they cannot be covered by Maya. Yeah, they're complete. Whereas the Jiva Shakti is incomplete. So these are the Nitya Bhava. So they are not yet engaged in Seva. So they are not complete. They are in dormant position. All of the complete tattvas are transformations of the complete potency, and the innumerable atomic conscious jivas are transformations of the incomplete Shakti. That means those in the Brahmajanti, from the Tatashta, from the incomplete Shakti. Tatashta Shakti is incomplete Shakti.
Krishna is complete.
Krishna is complete.
So how can this Shakti can be complete?
Oh, that is, is Krishna's potency. There's a complete, and he's perfect and complete, but then he has the material manifestation, which is also himself perfect and complete,
This better manifestation is himself is complete.
but is a perverted reflection of the spirit world. And it is, the material world is temporary. Material world is temporary.
But still it is complete. Like you
Yeah,
mentioned
it is
this
complete.
verse, Purnamidam,
Yeah.
Purnamidam.
Yes. So it is, by itself it is also complete and perfect, but it is temporary in the material world. It is manifest and sometimes it is not manifest. So, in this way, so, that is by the Lord's will. So it is incomplete. It is complete by itself also, but it is incomplete in the sense that it is temporary. So all these manifestations which are there, they are temporary. But then again, the underlying principle, pradhan, which is the origin of the Mahatattva, or Prakriti, that is also permanent. But then this pradhan turns into the Maya Shakti of Prakriti, which is temporary, the external energy. So, and so the jiva is tatashta, is in between. So the tatashta jiva, the nitabada. So they are on the borderline between the internal potency and the external potency, but they can come under the influence of the external potency.
When we talk about incomplete, so what do you mean by incomplete? It's in which sense
In
we are
which
saying that
sense?
they're incomplete?
Incomplete because their nature is not manifest.
Okay. in this
The
way.
form is not manifest,
Yeah,
so it is
not
not
realized.
complete. No, it is not manifest. It is in the dormant state or seed-like form. So in this way it is not complete. But then, when they engage in devotional service, then their form will manifest and then they will be complete. And then they are just like the Nityasila. And then once they are just like Nityasila,
They're just like this.
Yeah.
They're not like this.
well, but they are becoming just like the Nityasilas, because then they will be forgotten also.
But then even at the dormant stage, this jiva, he has his own swarup in
Yeah.
spiritual world. But Krishna knows.
Yeah.
In this way, he is complete.
Yeah, but it is dormant, and so in this way it is not complete, because it is not manifest.
It's like the example of the seed.
Yeah, like the seed,
has
yeah.
a tree inside, but it's not a tree.
The jiva is not been realized. He doesn't know his swarup, but Krishna
No.
knows.
Yeah,
Like when
knows.
he will be serving.
Yeah, he will know. And he's almost ready. Even Jiva Goswami gives another point that the Swarup is there, but it's not activated. It's not activated because the seed is there, so inside the seed, so the Swarup is there, but it's not activated. It cannot be. Because in this seed-like form, it is dormant. And when you're sleeping, like Pradeep. When he's sleeping. And hey, Pradeep,
No movement.
no movement. How does it? You just say, Haribo, immediately wake up. But he is in deep sleep. Whenever Nutar, sometimes they come to Pradeep, no. You have to like shake him. And even you shake him a little bit, and
No action. No reaction.
and after some time, okay.
Okay, you realize I'm in this
Yeah.
little world.
Okay, I'm sleeping. It's like,
So when
and even another person is difficult to wake up when he's faking that I'm sleeping. And he doesn't want to get up when he's faking. Then difficult to wake him up. But he's not faking, he's really sleeping. So like this, so the jivas are, so the form is there, but it is dormant.
So in the spiritual world, there is some dummy or something like for this soul, this jiva who is in dormant
Well,
state.
some they say it is like dummy.
Yeah,
It is not really like
there they are sleeping.
No,
and
no,
then
no.
the meanwhile they are here in this spiritual
No, no,
world,
no.
and then they will like this is something like
Yeah, outward.
they're
Some-
dreaming or they're sleeping. No
They say,
dummy.
but no.
So Prabhu, like they say, we also hear that first we have to go to Kumbh Vrindavan to take birth.
Yeah.
They take birth from the gopis. So and then they serve Radha Krishna or small or whatever. So when they go back to Golgotha, they go back to Golgotha. Do they go with the same form, same body or what?
Yeah.
So they get the body in Kumbh Vrindavan.
Yeah. And then they will be transferred there when they are their age. They're here, they're born.
So then what is the question of dummy there?
Then there is
No, there's no done.
it's just weird.
But some say,
Just go there.
but but I think they don't understand what Jiva Goswami is saying, so we have to reconcile. It is there in the form of the seed, so it is dormant in this sense, and so we have to reconcile. So Jiva Goswami is explaining that the form is there and has to be activated. So we think it is form, but it is dormant, but then when the Jiva is there and then he's taking birth in this world and then he's coming to the age of 12 years old, then he will go to the spirit world.
Then it gets activated.
Yeah, you may say.
Then when he becomes complete and perfect, then
He's
they are
12 years
qualified
old.
to
Whatever his
age.
according to
Yeah,
his heart.
then he will be there. She will be there. But then as the pastime go on, even so, this one form will be still there, which is there, and then maybe like Krishna is going to Mathura, and then some separation will be there. So, but then the original form will be there. Like, when also Krishna is going to Mathura, so Brijabhanu Nandini becomes apricot. So she's not there anymore, and then Viyogini Radha is there. So that is still, continuation is there.
So what about this sadhanas in the devotees who go back to Golokana? When Krishna is performing his pastime somewhere in some universe, they also come with him many times. But not all of them. Or all of them. Alright,
The
whatever.
prominent one, most probably. You see, the thing is they're there, and then they
Yeah,
go to
that's
this
what I
world.
was. So they have their one form still there.
Yeah,
And then they come and take
birth here.
birth here.
Like Krishna taking birth, Lalita Vishaka they take birth. But then the original form is there. This is just an expanded
In
form.
the sadhanas he does also. Because they also become perfect then.
Yeah. So the Nitya Siddha, they will also come here, and it doesn't mean they are not there. They are there also, and they are here also. This is just a manifestation of the Lord's pastime, and they take part in that manifestation.
After the completion of this pastime, they go and merge in their Swarupa.
No, they are always there.
They are always there,
Yeah.
and then they expand themselves for a year. And then the pastime is in her. So again they go and
When they go from one universe to another universe, they will be there.
keep on expanding. And then
Like,
when the
they
pastime
take-
is done, then
Keep on expanding, keep on transferring themselves
Yeah.
from one universe to
Like for
another.
example, just
Same
like the
form.
sun, the same form is there, but is it can climb, or like even the moon is maybe even a good example also. There's the full moon is there, but then it's becoming smaller and smaller, and then new moon is there, and then it is growing again. So, but the moon is actually full. But then it appears to our vision that the moon is like growing. First you see little piece and bigger. So by nature actually the jivas, so even the Nitya Siddha, they have that form, eternal form. But when they come in this world, they appear, they take birth also. That is a manifestation of the pastime of the Lord. And then they are 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. And that is done in all the different universes. This is like
But
this.
this is very
Inconceivable.
complicated or inconceivable because Krishna is performing his pastimes like every minute he is taking birth somewhere in some universe. So means all his associates are also taking birth.
Yeah.
So means they already have expanded themselves because here there's already pastime going on.
Yeah,
And then another universe, another universe.
yeah.
So even if we say it's 24 hours,
Yeah.
so we say also that this every hour he's taking birth, so it's already 24 forms.
Yeah.
So all his associates also take as many forms as he
Yeah.
takes.
Yeah.
I have a question. Can the stage of being born again from Gopi or whatever, can it be skipped? Like, by some mercy.
What?
Can it be skipped by some mercy, like being born again from a gopi here and then Safa again? Can it like be a very quick transfer? Like,
Yeah, it will go very fast. I mean, you can see life is going very fast.
no.
No, but even in the Gopi's form, once you're in Gopi's form, you're already there with Krishna.
I don't want to be born again, it's very painful.
I don't think so. Taking birth is as painful here there as it's here.
How do you know?
I don't know, but I'm just guessing it.
And what happens with the Jiva who belongs to the Vaikuntha? Like how we hear about Golok, take birth from Gopi's womb and then with the same body. What happens with the Jivas who belongs to Vaikuntha?
Those Vaikuntha, it's really easy.
They don't have to take
I mean, it's
birth.
also not so easy to go to Vaikuntha, but still, if one is worshipping Narayan or Vishnu, then usually he doesn't have to go to one of the
Okay,
universes.
okay.
He will go.
They
after
can go
giving up the
directly
body.
from this
Yeah,
place also. Okay.
they give up the body and they will go to Vaikuntha.
Okay. What we are the pastime of other than those things,
Yeah.
how the Vishnu Dutta come in
Yeah,
and
and
taking
take them there.
This doesn't happen in Golok, like
No.
Krishna is sending some chariot. or
No.
something. Because somewhere we heard this thing also. Krishna is Suna, is his called name. Krishna is coming with a chariot
No.
and he's taking his devotees.
I'm up to it, don't worry.
But the internal process is arranging for the jiva to go there.
It's like every devotee leaving his body is going back to Golok.
Hold on a second. Sorry. Good luck, wait. If there is like innumerable number of universe and everything is repeated, as Ma said, if it's Krishna's plan, and our role is be here, so we're gonna keep being born here over and over again. Because we are already here in the material world. Why should we change for Goloka? There are so many jivas, whatever.
Not Jivas.
You see?
Nobody's.
For example, this is Krishna's plan. I mean, this is all his levas, right? There is material world where we're all suffering. So, and we are like hoping to go there, but actually, there is innumerable, right, quantity of everything. It's endless. So this is also exactly the same thing. So we just keep being born here again. It will never stop.
No. We stop if
Maybe
you
it's
surrender
Jiva.
to Krishna.
No, but the thing is, I think also from taking birth in Oma Vrindavan, where Krishna is performing his pastime, is not as taking birth in this material world.
Yes. And it's
It
not
will
so
be
easy
different.
also. And it's not so easy also.
That is
No, you
something
see
else, but it
yeah.
will not be the same.
No,
We
of course
don't-
not.
Because we probably, we are not there. You see what I'm trying to say? I mean, there are all universes are everywhere. We are in this universe, we are in that universe.
No,
it's-
we are only usually in this universe. Unless you're surrendering to Krishna, then you can go to where Krishna's planet is. But usually, the jivas normally they will stay in one universe, and you can go up and down,
Take
to heavenly
birth again.
planets, and come back here, go to hell, come up again. But
That's
if you're,
right.
but if you're surrendering to Krishna, and you're attaining liberation, then you may go to another universe. Otherwise, you cannot go just to one other universe according to your desire. Okay, now I want to go to another universe. You cannot
No,
go.
this is quantum physics. I mean, this
No.
is what they're telling us. I mean, there is exactly the same happening in another universe, but some slight difference, and another, endless,
Yeah, but there's endless universes and endless jivas in the different universes. But we are just in one universe. And the unlimited jivas in this universe and the unlimited jivas in another universe. But we are not there, we are only in this universe, we are
So
not
the
in other
jivas who are taking
universes.
birth in this universe, they remain in this universe.
Yeah,
Even after taking, like time, taking another birth also, they will
Yeah.
take it here.
yeah.
But then it will never stop because we will keep continuing.
Because
That's
Wow.
what he
Wow.
I need
said.
some physician to tell me.
That's what he said. We can get out from this cycle
Yeah.
when we surrender to Krishna.
That's the only way.
Yes.
If you surrender,
You're anyway
then
doing your meditation and everything, why are you worried about it?
if you surrender to Krishna, then we can become
Checking
free.
64 rounds every day, why are you worried about it?
I'm still here, I'm not that I'm still here, nothing
Because we
changed.
have faith that it's here.
So Sri Krishna being established in him of his Shakti manifests his Rup Shakti according to the nature of that Shakti. When he is situated in the Chit Swarup, he manifests his Swarup as Sri Krishna and also as Narayan, the Lord of Paravyoma. Where he is situated in the Jiva Shakti, he manifests his Swarup as Vilas Murti of Braj, Baladev. When he is established in the Maya Shakti, he manifests the three forms. So that's a little bit difficult to understand. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Next time we can try to understand it a little more. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.